That's next, but first time for Countdown's number 2 stories, tonight's worst persons in the world. The bronze to LaDonna Hale Curzon, executive director at WS Radio, which describes itself as the world leader in internet talk radio, and says it has launched a new radio show or network or something called Sarah Palin Radio. It is supposed to be an hour a week, not featuring the governor of Alaska, but about her. The proprietors suggest that herself might appear occasionally by phone. Maybe you could get the French president, Nicolas Sarkozy, to phone in, too. Whatever the plan is, as of this afternoon, going to the Sarah Palin Radio website and clicking on the Listen to Sarah Palin button brings you, ironically enough, to John McCain Radio with your host, John McCain, and the advisory that you can listen to John McCain's final broadcast on John McCain Radio. And so long until tomorrow. Our silver medalist tonight, Glenn Beck, who recently dropped out of reality-based media to join Fixed News, and to whom the last election is neither positive nor something he believes really happened. So the question is, he asks on radio, do states have the right to secede anymore? Because it was a compact. It's not perpetual. In fact, in the Declaration of Independence, it says it is our right, it is our responsibility to get away from a government who doesn't listen to us anymore. Do you ever even have a right to do that as a state anymore? Do you have the right to say, you know what, you guys are going down a path that I don't even agree with? Is that even possible? Of course it is, Glenn. They did it in 1860 and 1861, and it only led to a civil war that killed 600,000 Americans. It's called treason. And coming from a guy who more than once has shouted into his microphone, "This is America, love it or leave it." It's also undeniable, indefensible, stupid hypocrisy. But our winners, Andrew Ross Sorkin and the New York Times. There are far worse transgressors. It's even been done on this network in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but he started it. Mr. Sorkin was the one who wrote that at General Motors, quote, the average worker was paid about $70 an hour, including health care and pension costs. This has been picked up by Charles Krauthammer and Newt Gingrich and every facts-optional conservative and sadly a lot of effort-optional liberals and independents. And it's bull crap. It's a way to come up with a big, outlandish, sexy number and a way to blame only the workers and the unions for the disaster in Detroit. The Center for Automotive Research said that the average hourly wage at GM, Chrysler, and Ford last year was not $70 an hour, but $28 an hour. So where does that crazy figure of 70 come from? If you take all the hourly wages the big three are paying its employees, and you add the health benefits that they get, and you add in their pensions, and you add in what the companies also pay in health benefits to their retired workers, and you add in the pensions they pay to their retired workers, and you add in the money they pay to the surviving spouses of the dead retired workers, you take that big number and then you divide it by the number of hours actually worked by just the active auto industry employees, your answer is then 70. But this is like asking, what's the average salary of everybody in the United States? And then you add in every pension or Social Security check being sent to anybody who's retired, but then you only divide it by the number of active workers. It's mathematically and intellectually dishonest. The guys who are spending this Thanksgiving in Detroit in dread of their jobs vanishing before Christmas are making $28 an hour, maybe 38 with benefits and pension. And now they're also getting this $70 an hour crap thrown at them too. All thanks to Andrew Ross Sorkin and the New York Times, today's worst persons in the world.